Friday marks 1 year since the worst act of violence Maine has ever seen. Each day this week, we will be bringing you stories of people in Lewiston and surrounding communities, some working through their own grief, others helping others.
Tonight, David Guilford heads to a school and a museum to bring us a story of Mainers doing both.
Can you tell me what your vision is for exactly how these attach?
How do you pay proper respect to a great loss while people are still raw from the pain? Here in Lewiston, the Maine Museum of Innovation, Learning, and Labor took on the task of honoring, teaching, and healing in the years that follow the October 25th mass shooting.
This is the most important work I've ever done, and I know it's helping lots of people, and that's all you can really hope for if you're running a museum.
In December, we followed museum director Rachel Ferrante and local artist Tanya Hollander as volunteers collected more than 1,000 memorial items from the two shooting scenes. The flowers, however beautiful, don't last forever. But the pair found meaning in what would otherwise be thrown away.
I saved the sleeves, and I didn't exactly know why. And I remember calling Rachel and being like, are we saving sleeves? And she's like, no, why would we do that? And I was like, I don't know, but I feel like we need to.
261 plastic flower sleeves. This is the museum's newest exhibit. Look at them grouped together, and they symbolize the collective trauma we, as Mainers, are still processing. Look closer, and each sleeve is as it was the day it was placed on the ground.
Some of them have petals still stuck to the inside, which I find really beautiful. Some of them look pristine, and some of them are pretty beat up.
The museum is not only holding on to memorials, but also artifacts. When the bowling alley's owners changed the front doors, they could have thrown the old ones in the trash. Instead, they came here. Images of these doors from the night of the shooting have been seen around the world, but Ferrante keeps them locked away. Lewiston and Maine, she says, are not ready to see them. Then why keep them at all if they still bring pain?
We're trying to collect the amazing community spirit that came together after such a horrible tragedy, but also, unfortunately, part of the horrific events of that night. And we don't necessarily need to display them now, and maybe not anytime soon, but it is important to keep them, because if we don't, then they're just lost forever.
Each item is part of the story. It's too soon for the public to view this chapter, but in 2 years, maybe 5 years, we'll likely be in a different phase of grief. Jake Langlis knows about working through emotion. He's superintendent of Lewiston Public Schools, Maine's second largest district that's rapidly growing.
Have they been afforded the opportunity to fully process them?
I mean, I think the real answer is no. Not because they couldn't or because they just haven't, but because I think there's a real question out there about how do you process. That works for you? I don't know.
Langlis and his staff have been meeting all 5,700 students where they're at, as each person grieves in their own way.
Yeah, people are still hurting. We have to acknowledge that. How you do that, I don't always know, but I know that a lot of us are trying to do that. We're not going to bury this thing and act like it didn't happen. It did happen.
Langlis is not alone in his work.
Hey, they'll take good care of you because they're the pros.
Jason Fuller grew up here.
Thank you, Justin. Been here my whole life.
And he's been the high school's athletic director.
Yeah, not complaining.
For 20 years.
You know, has its positives and it has its negatives. So.
1 week after the shooting, Lewiston and Auburn's Edward Little high schools played their annual football game. For many from the two cities separated only by the Androscoggin River, it was the perfect distraction from the emptiness we all felt, if only for a few hours.
Woo! Yeah, Lewiston! Been AD here for 20 years?
Yep.
You must love your job.
I do. I love the community. Here, I was like I've said this a bunch of times to a lot of people. I had great coaches when I was here. I kind of lived a fairy tale life when I was here as a student. And I always felt like this was my way to give back to the community and help someone else out. Every time I do it, I can't. It's been a year and I still struggled. I talk about the community and the pain I think we all felt that day.
Ready, turn it back. Good job. Good job.
Whether through sports,
Well, we can use some of them here.
or art,
Old building, new building.
or a conversation in a hallway, Lewiston is not moving on, but moving forward into the next year together.
Art really does have a powerful impact on people, and in this particular case, I would say art has the power to help process and heal.
I think it's really important to acknowledge that we're doing fine. We're not okay, and that's all right. But we're going to continue to work at it to get to a place where we are much better off. But to bury it and act like everyone should be fine, I think would be a mistake.